Hello and welcome. We are wrapping up on July with our Disney Channel original movies, and today we're gonna go and Wait the Undead and talk about zombies.
They're awesome.
Zombies is the newest Disney Channel original movie. It was released in 2018 this year, and I didn't watch it until now, and it was an interesting watch for me, I will say. They don't look like typical zombies, they don't act like typical zombies because they are smarter than that. And the opening of Zombies is a complete ripoff of one of my favorite shows, iZombie.
Who would have thought that an accident involving lime soda would set off the apocalypse?
And when the contaminated green haze blew west, people were not happy.
Because it turned them into zombies.
That's right, zombies!
The cartoon effect of it, the comic book strip and everything, it just screams iZombie, which is superior, and I don't know how I feel about that because it's like a homage, but it's also ripping off of it, and it just continues to rip off of things from this point forward. The zombies live in their own town in Zombieland, but they are able to go to school for the first time with our humans in Seabrook. And Seabrook is basically Whoville. And it looks like that was pulled out of the Cat in the Hat.
On this side, we can all keep winning if we just try to fit in. Watch it come together, be the best one ever, because it's my time. This is gonna be my year.
Everyone is the same. It's a story about diversity and being yourself. And there's a gigantic underlining message about racism, especially with the fact that the zombies are not allowed to go to the human school. They have to be separated, and it just continues to make me think of what we've been through in history with segregation, which is also a really important lesson to learn and overcome with, so I understand. And diversity is very important today, especially because we're going through a lot of equality issues and they need to get solved. But they're too obvious about it, and it takes away from the cute little story they're trying to tell, even though the story is very overdone. I do like the diversity element of it. I give them points that there are a lot of male cheerleaders because that's something you don't see it often, so they get points from that, but then it's also super unrealistic. And I know they're trying to be diverse, and I know they're trying to prove a message that everyone can be anything, but the girl that's supposed to be a flyer, that her dream is to be a flyer, it's not even a body shaming message that she can't. Flyers normally are 60 to 80 pounds. They're so tiny, and she is a healthy weight, but she would be too much to be a flyer. She would be an amazing bottom base, and she could be a fantastic cheerleader. The fact that they're trying to give her a story plotline of her legitly trying to be a flyer is so unrealistic and not healthy, because you're gonna let these girls want to be flyers, but they aren't gonna be in the right category. It's not even a body shaming thing, because you have wrestling, and wrestling has different weight groups, and they can only be in their certain weight group or else they have to go to a different scenario. It's the same thing that goes for cheerleading. She needs to be able to be supportive, and she has to lift people that are really, really, really tiny, and she's healthy. She's healthy.
Since I was a little girl, I saw me standing here. And all the times they told me walk away, I said forget it. I knew where I was headed, and I was gonna get it. Ain't no mountain we can't climb, nothing keeps us down. Got that fire in our soul, never count us out. We got one thing on our minds, call it victory.
But not for a flyer. She needs to be a bottom, a base, but she can still be a fantastic cheerleader. That's not taking away anything. I just didn't like the direction they went in because it's not realistic in terms of science. This is once again a musical, and the choreography is fantastic. I will give them that. They have amazing choreography. The songs are very repetitive, and again, why do they have to rap in every single song? I know this is a new generation and I'm too old for it. I don't appreciate it, and I'm not a fan of the way these songs are. There are some interesting sequences, and I really do appreciate the sets. The sets were phenomenal, I'll give them that. Especially when it comes to the duet that they sing.
Right from the start you caught my eye. Something inside me came to life.
Ooh, I got a feeling if you get to know me
Someday.
this could be ordinary.
And the Zombieland are both excellent, but I thought that Zombieland was going to be completely a different song compared to what this was.
I'm about to show you. What you gonna show me? Guess somebody told you. Girl, you don't know me. I'm about to put in work.
Listen, this is our turf.
Oh man, I'm the man that you can't do it like I can. Oh man, you a fan, understand this is Zombieland. Oh man, I'm the man, but you can't do it like I can. Oh man, I'm the man with the plan, let me do my dance.
I thought it was going to be more like a rock sound to it, and there was an old web series that was also a vampire musical that Lucas Grabeel was in from High School Musical, and they did songs that were similar to what I thought these Zombieland songs were going to be like.
Just a little, la la la, just a little nip, just a little nibble, just a little bit of tickle, just a little bit, just a little bit, just a little la 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 la.
Because there's so much rapping in these songs and the zombies want revolution, I also felt that they were ripping highly off of Hamilton.
Now, let me introduce you to my friend Eliza.
We'll never be accepted. Zombies need to rise up. Fight the good fight. Stand for what's right. We get the worst jobs and a curfew at night. They make us wear these uniforms that all look the same. Why is it just us being treated this way? I say we stick it to their institution. You want justice? We need a revolution.
Cause I've been reading Common Sense by Thomas Paine. So I'm gonna say that I'm intense, that I'm insane. You want a revolution, I want a revelation. So listen to my declaration.
It was like, this is a mix between iZombie and Hamilton. If iZombie and Hamilton had a baby, it would be this movie with a sprinkle of Bring It On. That's this movie. The direction of the green hair and this entire aesthetic here was an interesting choice. Most of the time they look good, but when you have an entire group of them, they just look like a bunch of jokers. And I don't think of them as zombies. I think of the Joker from Batman, and then I think, where's Harley Quinn? Which is another problem. So Addison's our main lead, and she's a great actress. I really did enjoy her. I really enjoyed our main characters between the two of them. They have really great chemistry, and they also apparently did date in real life. We were looking up information while watching the movie, and they're really great friends. So the chemistry is fantastic, so I give them that. Her real hair looks so fake, and her wig, which is obviously her real hair, is so much nicer. But her real hair looks like a $5 Party City wig that is so straggly looking and terrible, and it was so distracting because it doesn't look good, and I feel like you could have made it look better. To get the point across, I understand, but you could have made the hair look better. It could have added some improvements to it. I don't know who greenlit the hair and being like, yeah, this looks totally fine. She has albino hair, but it's so straggly and so synthetic that you know it's so fake. The only reason I'm really frustrated about it is because I do cosplay, I do dress up, and this is Hollywood. This is a high budget production. And the fact that they went with these choices makes me infuriated because I can do better for 10 bucks. Half the songs weren't needed in this movie. Half the songs where they're trying to make a decision and to save the zombies, there's a point where they have to save the zombies because the zombies were set up and made to look bad and made to go rampant, which also, iZombie is the same. Their way they go wild and they go off of being in human form. So the zombies wear a Z-band in order for them to stay human and human enough, and they can survive in day-to-day activities without having the urgency to just eat brains all the time. And it basically controls them from going haywire. They get set up by some cheerleaders, so they will go haywire and they hack into their bracelets and they make them go crazy. The way that they go into like hysteria mode, as I call it, is exactly the same way that iZombie goes into it. So please stop copying off an amazing, amazing show for your little tiny musical about racism. And then Addison breaks out into the song instead of just saving and running after, with her decision of what do I do? What do I do to change? And I will make the change by taking my wig off because it's so predictable.
I'm gonna stand strong, nothing's stopping me. I'll be loud, you'll hear me now. I'm gonna stand tall, take it to the top. I'll be free, can't bring me down. So I'll rise, won't turn back, I won't hide who I am. I'm gonna stand.
And while she's making the decision, they also have a montage of everything that happened within the last half hour of the film. That's not needed. There was so much space that was wasted with the story that by the end of it, I was just waiting for it to end. And it was enjoyable to watch, but they took away all the enjoyment by recapping everything that happened within the last half hour. So it was a cute little movie for the most part. I understand what they were doing with it and they tried, but the songs were not enjoyable for me, and it's a musical, so it's a really huge deal for it. The characters are very one-dimensional characters. They didn't have a lot of depth within them, and I probably did it on purpose because they're supposed to be like Whoville and basically cookie cutter clones of each other, and everyone's exactly the same. So I understand that that could have been a legit choice of their making, but if it wasn't, it also was a poor excuse because there was no depth in any of these characters. And I know it's just an original movie for Disney Channel, but we've gone through how many movies now and we have so many better characters compared to what we have here. And I feel like they focused more on trying to be influenced by other sources, whether it be true or not. It's very coincidental, and it is a little suspicious that majority of this film looks like it came from iZombie, and the Revolution songs sound like they came from Hamilton, and the cheerleading is from Bring It On. It's like they took those three sources and put them in a blender, and this is what we get. It's not the best, it's not the worst. It's a cute film if you want to check it out, but I wouldn't get hyped over it. I did enjoy the costumes, I enjoyed the look. It was an interesting look for zombies with the green hair, and there was good chemistry between the characters, and the sets and the choreography were fantastic. So it's not all terrible, but that's a wrap on July, and we have finished the DCOMS that we're gonna be talking about. Of course, there's so many more DCOMS that I always say and tell you to check out because they are over 100 and they're fantastic. We're going to continue with more when we get into Halloween and Christmas, so those specific Disney Channel original movies will be within their holidays. But we're going to go into August now, and we're going to talk about action films. So the first one we're talking about tomorrow is The Sign of Zorro. So stay tuned, and as always, I hope you have a magical day, and I will see you real soon.